Hey, this is Bob, and he just bought his first quadcopter, the biggest he could afford, claiming it will have a huge battery, enormous flight times, especially with carbon props. And of course it should be easy to use, with one button return to home and flight controller with GPS. Well, he learned the hard way that none of these claims were correct, especially after the first crash, broken carbon props and cut loose wires. So he turned to me for help. It's hard to tell what's wrong when you start from complex builds with complex systems like Naza. So we switched to basic KK flight board to check basic things first and solve this little mystery why our quadcopter flips on takeoff. So first ask these questions. Are radio controls displayed correctly on the board? Do motors spin in the right direction? This is just a demo. Correct way to check motor spin direction is without propellers. Just stick some sticky tape on top and feel the spinning direction with a finger. Are props mounted correctly? Prop has leading and trailing edges. Leading edge is always higher and indicates spin direction. Markings are always on the upside of propeller and mostly on the leading edge. Is your flight controller level with frame? Is it calibrated? Is it in the center of your aircraft? Does the front arrow on the controller aligned with front of the aircraft? Is center of gravity balanced in the center of the aircraft? If any side of your quadcopter is heavier, then it will naturally flip to a heavier side. Does every motor start at the same time? If no, you need to calibrate the throttle. And are motors plugged in the right order on the board? Well, I did second inspection and it turned out Bob messed up motor wires when I wasn't looking. So of course a quadcopter will flip if motors are plugged in the wrong order on a controller. We fix it and here is a liftoff. So one loosely attached prop just flew off, especially when all motors on this quadcopter are clockwise direction. So two counterclockwise props will always unscrew. That is just a matter of time. So if you crash, the first tip is to disconnect battery. Then don't move your model from the crash place till you find all the missing little bits and parts around it. Bob insisted to switch to Naza now. It didn't even lift off on a full throttle. Of course, since Naza LED was blinking red with errors. It says low battery, but it's not low.
Manual skrenda.
It lifts in manual mode. And I can switch to altitude hold, full throttle, and at least it hovers now. Manual, boom, it climbs easily. Well, we checked all settings again, and it's weird stuff. Z-axis acceleration stuck on 1, though it should be 0. Maybe we taped barrel or some sensor. Maybe this is a faulty Naza unit. Then we checked battery voltage settings and we couldn't change anything. We used a back from ESC and it turned out Naza back is voltage sensor too. So we had to plug that first to access voltage settings. And we set first warning to 10.5 volts. And 10 volts critical is a good start for a 3-cell battery. Wow, a green LED for a first time. Switch to altitude hold and it lifts off nicely. Even GPS works.
Dabar vėjo nėra, tai negali pasakyti, va. Jis turėtų vietoj kabėti.
Still the red LED shows up, even the battery is still more than half full.
Kažkokia errorai yra.
Čia dabar GPS-as, ne? O dabar manualas.
Ne, tai ant manualo aš.
I will reprogram a mix for the 3-position switch. The first position will be GPS, then altitude hold, and the last one return to home, instead the manual.
Nu, aš tau nesiūlau nemokant skraidyti ant manualo. Dabar GPS-ą, tai pakilk GPS-ą ir nuskrisk iki varto, nu, ties. Tu virš pusės tada tik kils. Ir link varto paskris biški. Nu, užteks ir dabar pasisuk gali ir su ruder. Iš šon pasisuk. Nu, toliau nuo tos vietos paskris, nes matai, jis labai plaukia. Nu ir atleisk. Kur tu ten skrai?
Well, Bob didn't manage to fly 30 meters away from takeoff site and initiate one button return. It's not that easy even with magic button when you have a little RC practice. And Bob has some, with little toy quadcopter models. But turns out it's still not enough for bigger models like this.
Žaliai mirksi, tai gali spaus gal. Nu tai kas atpirti. Bet, nu, tu ten, aš nežinau, ką tu ten spaudysi, iš šono pradėjo, tai ką ten.
Aš nežinau, kodėl pradėjo iš šono daryti.
And we are using plastic props this time. See? 5 crashes and still none is broken. Okay, so here's final takeoff and we will test return to home. Home is still back there, where we armed quadcopter before this crash.
Ai, mes nustatėm 10,5. Nu, davai GPS per. Ir jis gali būt, kad jis pradės kilti, kol žygys.
It's still climbing to programmed altitude. Whoa, will it take off to the right direction?
Ne, tai jis turi pakilti iki 100. Nu, tai palikti čia. Jis nusileis. Na, jis dabar praskris tenai. Nejudink iš viso.
Visions turn to gold and now we're blacking out. So we pull our feet through the gravel and stone, and the season's done, it's gonna be unknown. Imagine we are higher than the sparrows, casually
ir throttle down ir išjungt.
close that